Hey, great day, everyone. Welcome to our lunchtime tea talk, next level conversation, level up with the Akbars. My co host should be joining me any second. I'm really excited about today. We have once again some star honest with lavender and ginger. I'm really excited about this one because kind of a gloomy day in the Bay Area. So this is a perfect time for some tea. I just want to give a shout out to my good friend DB Bedford. He's doing a 30-day emotional wellness challenge. I've been doing that as well. And he's also doing a lunch and learn for some of the participants. If you're interested in learning more about that challenge, message me. I'm happy to share the information. Here's my co-host joining. I will bring him up, Mr. Akbar. Mr. Akbar, can you hear me? Can you hear me now, Mr. Akbar? I can't hear you. Yeah. So while he's getting his audio together, today we're talking about family. And, I really appreciate this topic because I had the opportunity yesterday. I think you got it, Mr. Akbar, almost. I had the opportunity yesterday to spend some time with my family, and it was really good. I was excited because I have my son, both my grandsons, and my husband. So I said I had the men in my life present, and my daughter was available too. And it was really nice how my son went and got us all gifts. And of course, me and my grandson went and got our mani pedis done. And he always loves me to cook lamb chops. Miss Akbar, are you are you on? Can't hear you though, brother. I can see you, but I can't hear you. Yeah, we was able to get our mani pedis done, and then guess what? He dropped that bomb on me. What's the bomb? For me and my grandson is lamb chops. He loved his grandma's lamb chops. So he says, Grandma, you gonna make me some lamb chops? Guess what? Of course I am. So we went to the halal market, grabbed us some lamb chops. I made him some basmati rice, and I actually fried his lamb chops. No flour, mind you, just a little bit of butter and a little bit of oil. I was looking for some grapeseed oil. Couldn't find some. And as you know, lamb got a little bit of fat going on its own. So yeah, I threw some garlic in there, some rosemary, some of my special seasonings. Reach out to me if you ever want to try one of Rachel's famous lamb chops. I think you got it, brother. No, I can't hear you. You might want to go out and come back in. You might want to do that because I don't know why you're not being able to hear you. Testing, can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you now. Yay. Whatever you did, don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it because I can hear you.
Well, here I am.
Let me give a toast to you that you was able to get it done.
Oh,
yeah. I was just sharing about the tea that we're having, and I'm so grateful on a little cloudy day. I don't have my glasses, so I'm not going to worry about it. But I know today's topic is family. I have my egg with me that represents life, that represents the womb, that represents the birth of family. I'm excited about it. I'll be holding my egg. I'm not sure of the stone right now, but I will find out. However, I do have 10 reasons, 10 topics why it's good to spend time with family. But before I do, I want to share with our audience that myself and Mr. Akbar has decided to open up our forum for guest speakers. So anyone that would like to be a guest, I'm going to type it in the chat. Please let us know, and we would love to have you on to talk about one of the 5F topics: faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun. Mr. Akbar, how are you doing today?
I'm doing quite well. Thank you for asking, Mrs. Akbar. As a matter of fact, When I woke up this morning, I said to myself, there is truly a God. Right? Woke me up and allowed me to get up with the spirit of love and kindness and generosity in my heart. And this is how I go out forth in the world, looking for opportunity just to share with somebody. And I start with my immediate family. So here we are, right? In the presence of my lovely wife, to you, my dear, as if this is the last moment. I want to appreciate you that much. Thank
Wow.
you for being here.
Thank you, brother. Yeah. So again, if you're just joining us, this is Next Level Conversation, Level Up with the Akbars Lunchtime Tea Talk. Today's topic is family. Again, we're opening it up. I put in the chat if you would love to be a guest speaker and you like to join us on one of these topics. Definitely let us know. Reach out to us. We would love to have you. This is streamed on our Facebook page, Next Level Conversation, Level Up with the Akbars. And it's also streamed on our YouTube channel, which is Rachel Akbar on YouTube. So check me out, like, share, and follow. Would greatly appreciate it. And I'll just open it up, Mr. Akbar. So when we're talking about family and why is it so important, some of the top benefits and advantages of spending your time with your family, for one, it improves mental health. So in talking about improving mental health, uh, how would you think family time would support that, Mr. Akbar?
To improve mental health?
Yes.
I give it. Family always brings to mind the sense of purpose,
Mm.
and so and I think that the mental health, enhancement is because of your contribution that you're able to contribute to your family. And so I can imagine how it would look, or how it would affect your mental health if you was a drain on your family.
Mm.
So it's we all should bring something to the table and not minimize what it is that we're bringing to the table. You see, so whatever your contributions are, they should be treasured and valued, not compared to somebody else's. And so
Mm-hmm.
that keeps you in that moment of appreciation, and then it enhances your spirit and value that you have for your own mental health,
Yeah.
without even thinking about it. It's just a
Mm-hmm.
natural process. But what happens, right, when there is no contribution, or the contribution is not being recognized or identified as anything of value, then people, it seems to begin the process of depreciating
Mm.
how they value themselves. And
Yeah.
that affects the mental health aspect of it. But to stay healthy, I think just appreciate whatever it is you bring to the table.
Yes.
And sometimes it's just your presence.
Mm-hmm.
You got to appreciate your presence.
Yes. I appreciate you said that, because sometimes you don't have to say anything, but just being present is enough. Because my grandmama used to say, because sometimes you open your mouth and a damn fool jump out.
Wow. And who would have knew that damn fool was there?
My grandmother had a way, boy.
Right.
And, I just really want to give a moment of silence too. Today was the day that my grandmother was killed in a fire. And she actually passed away in the next day, which is the 19th. Today is actually too a good friend of mine who we've called ourselves cousins for years and years. Her name is Toyana Norman. I just want to give a shout out to her on her birthday. But yeah, I just want to give a moment of silence for my wonderful grandma, Mabel Lee Buford. Ashe. Thank you.
Ashe.
I appreciate it, because she just a big part of my life. So definitely, give life and love to her birth as well as her death. So gone from among us, but not dead, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad would say. Gone
And, I,
from among us physically, but not dead.
and
I'm
I'm so grateful I'm so grateful because I know the impact that she had on your life. And I am truly grateful that at the end of hers, it was the beginning of ours. And
Mm,
she got a chance to meet me on it was brief but impactful because every time I was able to visit with her when you was going to see her at the home where she was at,
yes.
she'd look over and see me and she just spark up and she'd say, "Hi, Akbar." And I'd never forget it. And her face would just light up. I was like,
That's
wow,
I
man.
remember that.
And she
Yeah.
was sick and she didn't even know me, but she must have connected with my spirit. And I was
Yep.
thinking, wow, man, that is amazing. And then shortly thereafter, you know,
She was gone physically,
but
but
not
never,
forgotten, but
not
not
for,
forgotten. And
never
so
that.
I was saying that because I wanted to know how I had was inserted in that part of your history because you
Mm,
always refer to her,
yes,
in some form or another. And now I got a glimpse of what you're referring to. So you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
If there was no relationship or there was nothing that I can refer to, I would be just kind of imagine where you coming from. But I was able to touch that spirit too.
Yes.
So
Yeah. You touched the spirit later, 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 but she was a fireball, Miss Firecracker. But back to the topic, I want to say, and talking about my grandmother is so much on the topic because my family started with her. Had it not been for her, there wouldn't be my mom, and then met my dad, and then myself and my brother before me, and my brother after me, and my younger sister. So family is so important, but I want to chime in to improve the mental health. That aspect is important because a lot of times our families struggle with low self-esteem, low self-confidence, low self-worth. But when you're spending time with your family, people that know you, people that appreciate you, then they're able to, watch your growth. Like, my grandson said some things yesterday that he's getting ready to be 20 in February, but it was some things that we were talking about, and he mentioned becoming a better example for his son. He has a son that's 3 years old. And so by hearing him say that, it just like what I got an opportunity to witness the growth and maturity, him moving forward from his self-centeredness, self-seeking, self-absorbed self to now thinking, hey, I need to be a better example for my young son growing up. So I was able to let him know how proud of him I am. And I'm telling you, it's nothing like hearing your grandmother tell you that she's proud of you. I don't care who you are. Because I remember when my grandmother said it to me, it meant the world to me, when I heard it. Didn't hear it often enough, but I heard it. When I did hear it, I know that I needed to hear that to move on because this world can be cold. It can be cruel. It can be judgmental. It can be condemning. So you need someone that really care about you, that really got your back, that really no matter if you good, you bad, you right, you wrong, you bad, you ugly, they're going to tell you about you and they're going to love on you in the same time. So I needed to mention that in regards to mental health.
yeah, that makes good sense. Perfect
Perfect.
sense.
You want me to go to the next one?
If you wish, my dear, I'm all here.
The second one says it helps children perform well academically when they spend time with family.
Yeah.
Which you'll talk about that, Miss Dagmar.
Well, so I think on a healthy level, that would be idea, you know, because creating the environment that's conducive to the education process, yeah, of course, that just feeds itself. What's
Mhm.
necessary, right? Because we talk about first generation college students or first generation high school graduates. How that's promoted within the family, has a huge impact, on the outcome, of the children or grandchildren. You know, back in the 50s, there were some families that didn't have a whole lot of emphasis on education. They
Mhm.
had emphasis on trying to get a job. You see, and then it starts shifting now. To get a job, you had to have an education. But way back in the industrial area, in the era,
Mhm.
it wasn't that important to look at having a job related to having your education.
Mm.
Just like my father, he worked for City and County of Los Angeles, until, there were some things that showed up where he lost his job, but he didn't even have he never graduated elementary school. They came from the South, and way back then, like if you can get a grade school, if you can go to 1 year in school, that's good. So, his reading and all of that stuff was guarded, but the idea about it is it shifted and education became important. And with that, some families locked in on it. Even back then, there were some families that really leaned more towards the educational aspect of it, but it wasn't necessarily related to you having a job or not having a job. Today, people want you to have a degree.
Yeah, but then you want to ask them, well, where did I have time to get it? And I was sitting up there when work became a priority. I had to work to feed my family, but now you telling me you wanted me to have education. If I even look like I'm trying to get educated on the job, you give me more work because you don't want me to really get educated. That's another topic. I want to say this about lowers the risk of behavioral problems when you spend time with family. And
does.
Yeah, and the reason why I would say it because you have your family holding you accountable really for your actions and your behaviors, right? Like if you're not going to school or the teacher called because they got that voice recording now where they call and leave a message if you didn't attend school that day, and everybody at home knows about it when you get there. But I'll read a little bit. It says children who are spending time with their family have shown less risk of behavioral issues such as violence and substance abuse. When they receive positive attention for positive behavior, it increases their desire to continue those healthy patterns. Being with family and doing activities together also provide an outlet for pent up emotions that could otherwise lead to unhealthy decisions. Family is so important when it comes to a child or a teenager bringing problems to you because your advice can allow them to become better equipped to cope with problems that make positive choices. And so yeah, I totally agree with that. What do you think, Mr. Akbar?
Yeah, I think the connection with family and maintaining that around communication, because so often, you know, families get caught up in the grind, if you will, to make a living for the family. There is no supervision for the
Yes.
children. And what ends up happening is that they're educated by the streets.
Mm-hmm.
And that becomes a huge problem.
Mm-hmm.
And parents are challenged with, who's teaching my children while I'm trying to make a living.
Yeah.
Now that's a hell of a dilemma to be in,
Mm-hmm.
when you want the very best for your children, but you so caught up because you gotta pay the way, you gotta pay the bills, you gotta make sure food's on the table. Now who's teaching, who's educating your children? And so now, there's some behavior that can't be modeled that it's not lined up with the principles that you wanted your children to live by. But the disconnect becomes trying to make a living and trying to make sure my children are being prepared to live in a healthy environment. So those are modern day challenges, because of the rat race of trying to make a living. That's why I'm so grateful for the industry that I'm now a part of, and it always come back, to opportunity. And so the opportunity that's been presented to me, even though my children are grown, we got grandchildren that's coming up, that's not necessary up under our supervision, but they are guarded by us in that way. And we are not struggled. We're not challenged with having to go fight traffic while children are fighting with the different schools of thoughts from the street and in the family. We're there, in a situation because of this business to be right there for our children, to guide them through those processes of learning, as they mature on whatever age level they are. We can guide that system. And so it's important, for people really to start thinking about, is there an opportunity or possibility for me to be able to earn an income from home and make sure that my children are properly guarded because I'm trying to make sure they have the very best, correct? That's it.
Yeah,
That's the
that
idea behind it all. And so now, with an opportunity that will provide you the best opportunity to ensure your children's future, man, I would say, man, bring it on.
Yeah, my daughter is going to actually homeschool my last grandchild because the education system. I pray for the educators that they're educating our children properly, that they're educating themselves properly to be able to educate our children, but not just the education, the compassion that comes along with caring for someone else's child and doing it in a way of knowing, hey, this could be my child. So, in regards, let me make sure that I'm saying the right things, I'm feeling the right feelings, I'm managing my emotions because this child's future is really in my hands at this moment in time, right?
Right.
So the next one is boost self confidence. Spending time with families builds confidence for all of its members. Parents can teach children to build self esteem through specific skills such as problem solving and communication. So, yeah, what do you think about that? Spending time with family builds self confidence.
I think that's important, and that's a great question. But building self confidence, has a variety of dynamics, and one is the emotional component.
Hmm.
Being able to nurture your children and guide them through emotional maturity. And so without that piece, even on the academic side, learning to read books, learning to do math, and then not having the learning ability to monitor your emotions is important. So, family enhancing that confidence, being able to look at a situation that can be volatile, and then you able to engage it from the emotional side and not do something that's self-defeating. I think
Mm,
that enhances the confidence in the family, dynamics when that happens like that.
right. I like that. Also, it says confidence grows simply with the knowledge that they are valued and appreciated by the loved ones. And I think that is huge because even just seeing the time that we spent yesterday with the family members, each person felt just as appreciated as the next. We ate together, we talked together, we played games, we gave gifts, we prayed.
And I
We
was just,
shared.
I was just about to say we
Yeah,
prayed.
right. That's important. And so, man, just with that, the family that prays together stays together, and no matter what, the midst of going out and going abroad, doing your own thing. But when you come together with family, it's always good to take that time to appreciate the creator and say thank you, for keeping us safe. Thank you for helping us to achieve our goals and accomplishments. Thank you for broadening our perspective and helping us to move into that next phase, that higher level, that great frequency. So, man, that's amazing. The next one says, spending time with family helps kids learn future parenting skills. And I think we kind of touched on that earlier when I was mentioning how our grandson, mentioned how he's grateful that he's in school, getting ready to move forward on his journey of education so that he can be a better example and parent for his son. So that was exciting to hear, and to witness. And just watching him spend time with us all day let me know that he's growing because normally he's a sticker and a mover. Come see his grandma, give me a kiss, give you a hug, give you a handshake, and whatever, grab a lamb chop, and he out, right? But to spend hours and just, went places and did things, it just like, okay, so that let me know he's searching, he's seeking, he's on a quest of creating a bond. And so that's oh man, that's amazing. Um Teaches effective conflict resolution. That's a big deal too, because sometimes when you're with family and they're boasting and bragging, trying to make you think they're so big and bad, you get an opportunity to like kind of pull them off their soapbox too sometime and say, now, was that a right thing for you to do or not so right thing? Kind of give them a moral compass, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Modeling behavior
Mm-hmm.
is important, and just to think about it, the model that children are having now, is families working two jobs.
Mm.
And I think that's sad.
Mm-hmm.
To set the mind, to set the spirit, because it's what you see is the most important thing when you're learning, when you're growing up. That's
Right.
why children do more of what they see parents do, as opposed to what our parents tell them to do.
Right.
Smoking cigarettes. Parents told me don't smoke. My daddy smoking. I want to be like my daddy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in that silent thought.
Mm-hmm.
So if it was terribly wrong, why is he doing it?
Right.
So all of those messages, that comes together. And so now I think the message that's going out now to children is that they got to work two jobs in order to survive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then the children are being let loose, to fend for themselves while the parents are working.
Yes. No.
So I'm not discrediting anything that's happening. I'm just saying that is a visual that's learning our children how to engage life. And
Right.
so there's other options.
Right.
And that's why I'm so grateful for the business that we're part of, because that's an option that few know about.
Right. Right.
And
right.
we want to make sure that many are aware of this. So in case they want to take advantage of it, they have that opportunity to do so, because we're teaching our children in order to maintain, we got to have all of this time away from the family so we can go and make a living. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Akbar, we have 3 minutes left, so I'll wrap it up with this. I think this is a good way to wrap it up. It says, spending time with family reduces stress. Those with strong family, healthy relationships tend to seek out healthy coping mechanisms for stress, such as confiding in a friend and a family instead of other unhealthy outlets. This establishes a habit of talking through problems together to relieve stress and find effective solutions. Stress also significantly affects the aspect of the physical health, such as fatigue, blood pressure, and heart health. The Annals of Behavioral Medicine conducted a study that found that when people discuss hardships in their lives with a friend beside them instead of alone, they have lowered pulse and lower blood pressure readings. So, it makes sense that, there is a saying, pain shared is pain lessened, and also to talk with someone and share with someone what you're going through. So two heads are better than one in regards to creating a solution and coming up with a plan. Would you agree, Mr. Akbar?
I am so impressed with that, and I do agree. And it's amazing how God put things together the way He did. Right, what you just said. Now think about it. A pain shared is pain lessened, but on the opposite end, love shared is increased.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, just think about it.
Yes, I like that.
We share our pain is decreased.
Yeah.
Hey, we share our love and it's increased. Let's get out and share our pain as well as our love.
Increase
So
our
the pain can be lessened and the love can be increased. Huh? Ashe?
Ashe, I drink to that, brother.
Ashe.
Well, thank you once again, Mr. Akbar, for an awesome topic. Faith family. So next week, Wednesday, lunchtime tea talk, next level conversation, level up with the Akbars. We will be talking about
finance.
Faith family fitness.
Oh, no, finance.
Faith. This is
family. Faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun. Did you jump in the gun, sister? Faith, family, finances,
finance,
fitness, and fun. So guess what?
My favorite topic. Okay.
And
I love
we gonna get to fitness.
I
Hey,
showed up.
look,
I was trying to show you my guns.
you
My
better pay
guns.
attention.
My
And we
guns.
out of time, sister. Put your guns up or you get arrested. Put them guns up or you get arrested. Ah.
I see you, brother. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Peace and blessings.